The federal government has summoned an in-camera session of the Parliamentary Committee on National Security today for a briefing on the ongoing negotiations with the outlawed Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. The government of Pakistan and the TTP agreed on an indefinite ceasefire 3 weeks ago following peace talks brokered by the Afghan Taliban. The Met Department forecasts a strong weather system likely to enter upper and central parts of the country, with widespread rains across the Twin Cities, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan and Sindh. The Election Commission of Pakistan has sought assistance of the armed forces to conduct by-polls in different constituencies of national and provincial assemblies in Punjab, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, as well as for both phases of local government polls in Sindh. Heavy rainfalls have generated flash floods in local nallas and rivers of towns and cities across Balochistan, including Quetta and Barkhan. Meanwhile, in Lahore, heavy rains accompanied by strong winds turned the weather pleasant but caused hours-long power outages. A major road was blocked at multiple locations in the upper part of the country between Gilgit and Skardu due to rain-triggered landslide. The budget for the next fiscal year will be presented in the Balochistan Assembly today. Presentation of the annual budget was delayed yesterday, reportedly after some details could not be finalized. There were also reports that certain ruling party MPs had objected to the allocation of massive funds for the development schemes of a senior minister. Pakistan's non-textile exports grew 27.4% year-on-year to $11.25 billion in the first 11 months of the outgoing fiscal year, owing to a partial revival of international orders and the government support schemes. Overall growth in the non-textile sector is mainly led by the value-added sectors. Global oil prices rose 1%, clawing back more of last week's losses as the focus returned to tight supply of crude and fuel products versus concerns about a recession hitting demand down the track. More than 900 people have been arrested and as many as 161 FIRs have been lodged in the Indian state of Bihar over ongoing protests against the Narendra Modi-led government's new military recruitment plan under the Agnipath scheme. The demonstrations have turned violent in some states, with protesters setting trains on fire, vandalizing public and police vehicles and damaging property. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed defiance while acknowledging difficulties in the fight at the eastern state of the country as Russian forces capture territory and intensify pressure on two key cities ahead of a European Union summit this week, expected to welcome Kiev's bid to join the bloc. At least 26 more people have died in monsoon flooding and lightning strikes in India as millions remain marooned in the country and neighboring Bangladesh. Floods are a regular menace in India and Bangladesh, but experts say climate change is increasing their frequency, ferocity, and unpredictability for the two countries' 1.6 billion people. Ryan Giggs has resigned as Wales manager with immediate effect. The 48-year-old former Manchester United winger stepped away from his role in November 2020 after being arrested and later charged with using controlling behavior and assaulting his ex-girlfriend, charges he has denied. Independent Pakistani music made it to one of the largest streaming platforms for live performances in the world. Starting out as a somewhat fringe platform with a webcam taped to a wall, Boiler Room is now one of the biggest online stages of its kind. The performances were recorded earlier and streamed as live featuring both well-known and upcoming acts from the Pakistani indie music scene.